Today we'll address yet another absurdity of animal testing. It not only doesn't help, but actually harms and in many cases kills humans.
Maybe you could give a shit about animals and don't really care as long as humanity is benefiting. Well, animal testing is still something that you should be against.
During this video, I'll be pulling a good bit of information from articles posted on or alluded to by safermedicines.org. You may remember from the second nugget on animal testing that this organization has nothing to do with animal rights and everything to do with human safety. So no accusations of animal rights wingnut-derived information, random YouTube commenter. There's always that one. According to geneticist Kathy Archibald and pharmacologist Robert Coleman, adverse drug reactions are a major cause of death, killing 197,000 people annually in the European Union and 106,000 deaths annually in the U.S., according to a study in leading U.S. medical journal, Journal of the American Medical Association. And this is for medications that are correctly prescribed and correctly taken by patients. In the case of the U.S., that's about 290 deaths every day, or 1 every 5 minutes. The same study also considered patients who were so badly injured by medications that they needed hospital treatment. These were calculated to be 2,250,000 hospital admissions each year. That's over 6,000 every day, or 1 every 14 seconds. Currently, 92% of new medications fail at clinical trials, even though they have successfully passed animal tests. In 2008, a study in Theriogenology, volume 69, page 2, concluded, on average, the extrapolated results from studies using tens of millions of animals failed to accurately predict human responses. And another study in Regulatory Toxicology and Pharmacology, volume 64, page 345, shows that animal tests missed 81% of the serious side effects of 43 drugs that went on to harm patients. Let's look at 2 specific examples of how animal testing has harmed humans: the drugs TGN-1412 and Vioxx. TGN-1412 is often referred to as the Northwick Park Elephant Man disaster. The drug was developed by Regeneron Immunotherapeutics. In its first clinical trials, it caused catastrophic systematic organ failure, despite being administered at a supposed subclinical dose, some 500 times lower than the dose found safe in animals. 6 volunteers were hospitalized on the 13th of March in 2006, and some, like participant Ryan Wilson, had to have toes and fingers amputated. As standard practice in the drug industry, TGN-1412 had been through rigorous animal trials and had passed. But no worries, Regeneron Immunotherapeutics has apologized to the families involved, so that makes it okay, right? Now on to Vioxx. Vioxx is an arthritis medication made by the pharmaceutical giant Merck.
It was withdrawn from the market after causing the largest medical disaster in history,
after animal tests had indicated that it was entirely safe. According to Dr. David Graham, the Associate Director of the FDA's Office of Drug Safety, it was estimated that 88,000 to 139,000 Americans had heart attacks and strokes as a result of taking Vioxx,
as many as 60,000 of them fatal.
The Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine explained 9 of 11 studies on mice and rats had shown Vioxx or other COX-2 inhibitors to be safe for animal hearts and blood vessels. In fact, 6 different animal studies in 4 different species showed Vioxx was actually protective against heart attacks and vascular disease. One researcher in a paper published in the 2002 edition of Current Opinions in Lipidology went so far as to suggest that Vioxx be considered a treatment for human cardiovascular disease based on these animal tests. In another study from the American Heart Journal, a group of researchers who believed that Vioxx could protect the heart stated that these findings have raised the possibility that COX-2 inhibitors could actually decrease the incidence of acute thrombotic events. In layman's terms, animal testing showed that Vioxx was protective for hearts, yet when it was used on humans, it caused thousands of fatal heart attacks and strokes. Merck's falsely optimistic animal tests led the company to disregard the deadly problems emerging in humans. Now, it's not always bad drugs getting through that is the issue. There's also the possibility of helpful drugs not making it to market because they have ill effects in animal trials, while they'd be perfectly suited for humans. Take, for example, penicillin and aspirin. Animal testing showed that penicillin was ineffective in treating infected rabbits, and it was toxic to guinea pigs. Yet later it proved safe and effective for treating bacterial infections in most humans. And aspirin causes birth defects in mice and rats, but is harmless to the human embryo. Had we relied on animal testing as it's conducted today, we would have rejected aspirin. The craziest part of this whole issue is that there are safer, more effective alternatives that don't leave animals and humans paying the price for bad science. Yet governments continue to mandate animal tests. So there you have it, yet another layer to the absurdity of animal testing. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you soon.
Please visit BiteSizeVegan.org and sign up for the newsletter for free updates, exclusives, and to never miss a nugget. And be sure to subscribe to the channel. Plus, follow on Twitter at BiteSizeVegan, as well as watch all of the Bite Size Vegan nuggets on the Bite Size Vegan Nugget playlist. And if you're a Facebooker, check out Bite Size Vegan's Facebook page, and go ahead and friend me too to see what I'm up to.